Okay. So we have a question. Hi, Marshawn. Thanks for letting me ask these questions. My mom, Ann, is still living, but she told me and my sister our entire life that she would get Alzheimer's, like her grandma did, and it happened. I feel like she manifested it by always telling us that. She was diagnosed by her 60th birthday. She is practically nonverbal now. She still recognizes me and smiles when I visit. I'm wondering how much of our conversations does she understand? Like maybe she understands but can't respond appropriately. Also, when does Griff think a cure is coming? Why do people have to suffer with Alzheimer's? What kind of spiritual lesson is learned from it? What are their thoughts like in these last stages? Like, what is my mom thinking in these last stages?
Griffin's going back to the beginning. First, he says, hi, thank you very much.
Okay.
And he said, your mother had a premonition. She wasn't the one who manifested it.
Okay.
She wanted to know, she saw it when it was in her grandmother, that she would also have the same experience. It brought her peace to know in advance. It was up to her to share it or not share it. So
Right.
she shared it. She does recognize you when you come into the room. She does hear everything that you're saying, but he said, do it again. Think about if I were to have a conversation with you and I was to say, okay, I'd like you to remember the next 100 words that I say to you. And we just listing off words. You know, cat, dog, chair, pillow, plant, sky, leaf, flower. Now repeat them in the order. He says you'd remember some of it, but you could understand it and comprehend it the moment I was saying it to you. But then when you go to reflect, it's a little jumbled. He goes, that's how your mom is doing right now. So right in the moment that you're sharing it with her, she's got it. She's fishing and recalling memories. She's connecting to what you're saying and who you're talking about. So all of that is still together. That's not broken. It's the part where you want her to respond and look at you and say, oh, I got that. And now let's carry on the conversation. That she can't do. When it comes to the next day, she's not going to remember the list of words or the conversation that you had with her because her short-term memory is not being stored properly. Her brain is not letting her do it. She doesn't have any physical pain. She is stuck, as in most people are when they have Alzheimer's. She's going back over old circumstances that she hasn't resolved yet, and she's thinking about them and wondering how they're doing, and she gets lost in understanding if it's real to time right now. Is she 14 and going through that experience again? Or is she remembering it and wondering how to solve it? So time is collapsing in and on itself. A cure for Alzheimer's, it is pretty much already here. And a lot of that is early blood work testing and eating to sustain yourself rather than eating out of gluttony and eating for taste. You're eating for health. There also are shots that are being given that are stimulating the brain to hold on to proteins and to function properly, and that's going really, really well. But it's not available mostly to public. To some there are, and he says it's expensive, and it's stupid. It's stupid. None of this needs to be expensive because the actual medicine in and of itself is not. It's not. I mean, what would we do if we were all healthy? Who, Griffin, who would we be pissed at? So he goes, I hope I answered all your questions. He goes, it's really lovely. And I think now, when you go to see your mom, I would have a list of philosophical, that's what you said, right? Philosophical questions. He says, just pull them off the web if you can't think of them. And every day, just ask her one or two. He says, you're going to get some really great answers.
Oh my God, how awesome. That's so awesome, Griff. That's cool. I want to know what she says.
Ditto.
Right? That'd be so cool.
Life?
You guys, Griff, what is the most annoying mental illness to have? Besides CTE and pain, like physical pain, what is the most annoying for the person? Like, it's annoying for the people around you because they don't know what to do. But when you have Alzheimer's, are you annoyed? Like, do you feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't say it? Are you annoyed all the time? Like, you feel like you don't know?
Not all the time, no.
Okay.
Because you learn to let it go. And the moment you let it go, it's really gone.
Okay.
So it's not really haunting you.
It's gone.
Manic
That's funny.
depressive. Griff is voting for manic depressive. That you get so far down in a hole and you have full memory. You know what it was like to be happy. You know what it was like to be in love, to be touched, to be held, to be all these things. You know that other people are experiencing it because you're watching it and you feel distant and separate. And he says, I think that is the most challenging and the most miserable. Because when you are manic that way, it is a shift that happens so fast. You know, you feel like you're partly dying, but you're alive. And it says it's awful.
I equate it to being like Cinderella at the ball and it hits midnight. Everything fucking falls apart.
Everything turns into mice.
Yes. For no reason.
Yeah, Griffin agrees.
Right. Why, Griffin, why do you put mental illness with addiction automatically? Are you easier to fall into addiction if you have mental illness?
Yeah.
Are you trying to self-medicate mental illness with addiction?
He wants to split it
Okay.
to emotional and mental. But the way he likes to see it, those are the two cords that hold addiction. And mostly for the mental, it is trying to medicate, compromise, and for the emotional, it's cover, hide, distant. The one is trying to heal, make it better, make it happier. The other one is hide it, cover it. It'll be okay.
Isolate all the things that
Isolate.
are terrible for depression. Yeah.
So if you show me a healthy person, I'll show you someone who doesn't have an addiction because they don't need it.
Right. Right. Are there a lot of healthy people, Griff?
He said yes.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, they don't make the news.
Right.
No, he goes, don't get me wrong. When I say healthy, and you're watching this, healthy is not this consistent bar that everybody's trying to get to. And from this age to add that, what other age or when you die, you're the same. You're this high health. Healthy fluctuates. You can be sad and still be healthy. You can be exhausted and still be healthy. You can be overly happy and very annoying and still be healthy. He said, so I'm not saying that it is someone who can maintain a particular point for a length of time. There are still ebbs and flows.
Mm-hmm. When will mental illness be talked about and not so ridiculed and hidden and scary? Because like Jaime has a boot on her foot, we don't have a boot on our brain, so people are just so scared of it. It's so taboo. Still in 2019, if someone freaks out on you today and goes psychotic, I swear to God, you take them to the local hospital. They don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. My friend's kid shaved his head and thought he was Jesus Christ. She called me to ask me what to do because she took him to the local hospital in Chicago. They didn't know what to do. Like, they were going to lock him up. And then he called me and the kid called me and I saw it coming like a train down the tracks. He would stop and talk to me every day. And I felt it coming and I didn't know what to do about it. And I didn't even know. I was dear friends with the mom. I didn't know how to tell her. She had 5 kids, big, huge Italian family. And it was coming. I saw it. But it's dangerous sometimes when you, I think, Mom, when you smoke weed and you play with chemicals when you're mentally ill, and you haven't gotten treatment for it, it's going to make you break, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Head to head.
Right. Alcohol or drugs mixed with mental illness just doesn't match.
Does not match.
Right. And so I saw it coming, and the sweetest kid, and he called me all upset from the payphone collect saying they took my shoes away and everything like that. But the point is, he was in on Friday and out on Monday, and he was borderline okay, heavy medicated, But I mean, he literally shaved his head and said he was Jesus Christ. I mean, it shocked his mom and scared his mom. It's not funny. We can laugh now because I think he's doing fine and he's married. But and he's, I'm sure it's something he's had to face and medicate. But I saw it coming. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. He would talk to me for hours, and he just needed someone to talk to. But nobody knows what to do. I didn't know what to tell the mom. The mom didn't know what to do when it happened. The local hospital didn't know what to do. And this wasn't that many years ago, and I don't feel it's much better, Mom.
Well, your mom says now in larger cities, they do have mental health facilities that are not just to check in and drop off.
Okay.
That they come there and it is therapy, and they really are working to balance the whole system. But we're just looking at a few large selective cities.
Right.
We're not looking at everybody's hometown.
Right.
And so you do go to the hospital and they will give you medicine.
Oh yeah, the other ones are like, let's knock you out. You're making noise. Mm-hmm. They just lock you down.
God,
talk about being suicidal. It's sad.
That is sad.
Yeah, they just lock you up because nobody knows what to do. And if you're suicidal, they put a hold on you so you can't get out. And if you're making too much noise, they probably really drug you down, so you can't even think.
Your mom says that they now have, along with first aid, CPR, they now have mental health, like CPR, where you come and you get trained in first aid care, CPR, and mental health. And now they have, they'll give out numbers to call if something occurs in your workforce, and you've been trained, and then a particular team will come out and assess and help you.
Oh, I love it, Mom. I love hearing that. Cool. Yeah, I love hearing that. Mom, in seeing how important diet is, I think I would have fed my kids totally different from jump. Is it like 100% important or 90% important?
Okay, are you using 100% as truly 100% of the entire being of health?
Yeah, because Mom, I'm talking about
that number way back.
Okay, because Mom, they don't tell us what's in our foods, and a lot of it's nitrates and processed and GMOs, and it's not like that in some countries. I heard, I don't know, I haven't lived there, but I heard they have to be a lot more revealing in other countries, and some of the foods we sell here are not even allowed in other countries. They've been banned. And then, like I was so addicted to Diet Coke, it wasn't even funny. I'll still never know why, but it was like I'd wake up with one, go to bed with one. There's something in there that calls you. I don't know what it is. And you don't ever see a skinny person drinking Diet Coke, very rarely. So it must really mess with your system, the fake sugars and all that stuff. I'm sure it wreaks havoc. I mean, my family was concerned. I would go through like 12 a day, like crazy.
No.
Yeah, I'd wake up to one, go to sleep to one. Just something in there. I don't know what it does. I'm not a doctor, but I know it can't be good for you. Yeah.
I don't know.
Fake sugars. Yeah.
I'm addicted to my LaCroix, and it says here, innocent. 0 sodium, 0 sweeteners, 0 calories. Please be true.
Oh, good.
They're hiding something in this.
Because it's too good, right?
I just love it.
I know.
So your mother said that she would drop that number way back if we were looking at everything.
Okay.
Eating wise, she'd say 60%.
Okay.
So it's more than half.
Right.
So it's a big, huge chunk. Pay attention to it.
Okay.
She's taking the other 40% and she's breaking it down into your alignment to stay positive.
Okay.
We're positively wired. We're
Right.
glass half full people.
Right.
Um, your ability to communicate, to express what you're feeling, to even know what you're feeling. Your ability to be with community, so to receive help, and that goes back to communicating, being able to give, to receive,
Uh-huh.
and expression of love, which is in all of that. Our expression of love is how we feed ourselves, it's how we feed others. It's the environment we choose to put ourselves in. Is it one that we enjoy? Is it one that's aggressive? Is it one we feel like we're constantly challenged and we don't have some downtime? All of that relates to our physical health, our overall health and well-being. Thank you. Overall health and well-being.
Mhm. Mhm. I believe that food changes you completely when you don't eat it out of gluttony and you eat out of fuel for your car, kind of. It feels different to me. I
Does,
already feel
doesn't it?
different. Yeah.
It makes me clear in my head when I
Yes.
when I go vegan, which is best for me.
Mhm.
Um, it's great, but I have a difficult time sustaining it because I have a tiny love affair with cheese.
Mhm. Mhm. Mom, do you believe in fasting and Griff? Do you believe in it? It's been done before time. I mean,
We
you know.
have yes and yes.
Okay. To reset things.
So Griffin says he doesn't believe in the 3 square meals a day.
Okay.
He said, "What's up?" He says, "I believe eating when you're hungry,
Right. Right.
and that's it. And
Okay.
that might be one big ass meal.
Right.
And then other days, it might be 5 tiny meals,
Right.
but
Exactly.
not for it to be programmed to be the same way every day. That programming is just for the convenience of restaurants, of marketers, of,
Right.
store
Right.
hours. No.
Right. It's a bunch of baloney.
So that's his. And you'll find that you will, fast for more than half the day. And then sometimes you'll eat really, really light or just fruit only, what you're craving for 3, 4 days, and then eat really heavy for a week,
Mhm.
and then back to kind of nothing. That is what Griffin believes in fasting. Your mother is also saying there's a lot of power in not eating for 3 days, doing water, not juice. We're not talking about smoothies and fresh juice and stuff like that. Water. If you do anything over 3 day period, there needs to be some fiber and some sustenance in it
Mhm.
so that your digestive system doesn't go stale and go stagnant and turn off. So there are fastings that happen for 21 days and some do up to 30, 45, 60,
Mhm.
where they'll have charcoal and like a powder fiber. So they still have tiny bowel movements, so everything is still working, but they're cleansing and they're getting rid of the inflammation and they're resetting the gut across the board.
Mhm. Mhm.
I've done one. I did one for 21 days.
What did it feel like?
Well, it didn't feel so hot for like the first 7 days.
Right. But then
A
it's
lot of
amazing, right?
detoxing, a lot of headaches,
Right.
mopey. Yeah, but then
Mhm.
around 8, 9, 10, 11, it was just like you get a little high feeling. Feels
Right.
great. And it got easy. I got so much work done. I mean, like I didn't have to stop to eat, nothing. It was great.
Ultra focused.
Uh-huh.
Ultra
And then I
focused.
just
Right.
wanted food again. I just wanted it. Like
Right. It just came to
after
you.
16 days, it was like, come on. So I struggled with the remaining bit, but
Right. Right.
and it didn't really change my shape so much. I was really hoping to like, shed it and get thin or whatever. No, 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 no. But my gut and my head, that was so
So
worth the 21 days. Yeah.
right. Right. I agree with you 1,000,000%. It's basically just listening to your body, I guess.
Griffin says yes.
Yes. Well, I love you guys.
We love you. Griffin loves you.
Okay. I love you so much.
Everybody's
Oh,
saying thank you. Yeah.
but one last thing to add, just in case someone's listening about this, it says celiac disease is very connected to schizophrenia. So if anyone's watching this and wants answers, I read that today. Just a little side note. So, because I know it can be frustrating to find cures. So, all right. I love you guys.
That's really cool. They
Okay.
love you.